is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Diane Roberts. Ukraine's presidential office says at least one civilian was killed and 3 others injured in Ukraine in the last 24 hours. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma has our story.
Ukraine says over the same period, Russian forces launched strikes on 10 regions in central and southeastern Ukraine and intensified fighting in the eastern Donetsk region, the epicenter, over the past few weeks. The office update adds Russian shelling destroyed 2 technical university buildings in the city of Kramatorsk, which houses the local HQ of the Ukrainian army, while 15 towns and villages were shelled in the broader Donetsk region, with battles raging for the city of Bakhmut, which Russian forces have been straining to encircle amid fierce Ukrainian resistance. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The Kremlin said Wednesday it had not received any proposals from Kyiv to halt fighting in Ukraine during the upcoming holiday period, and a ceasefire was not on Moscow's agenda. In nearly 10 months of fighting, Russia has yet to fulfill any of its stated key goals in what it refers to as its special military operation in Ukraine. The UN reports Russia has destroyed 50% of Ukraine's energy infrastructure, putting millions of people at risk of sickness and death as temperatures continue to plunge. Here's VOA's Lisa Schlein.
The UN reports the situation is particularly catastrophic for more than 10 million people living near the front line. The UN says they are facing winter without water, heat, and electricity and are in greatest need of assistance. The World Health Organization reports at least 715 hospitals and healthcare facilities have come under attack and been destroyed or damaged. Lisa Schlein for VOA News, Geneva.
This is VOA News. The World Health Organization's chief, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, said Wednesday he is hopeful that the COVID-19 pandemic will no longer be considered a global emergency sometime next year. His comments at a briefing with media come as China dismantles its rigid zero-COVID policy and allows people to live with the virus, stirring concerns the world's number 2 economy faces a surge in infections. China's National Health Commission scaled down its daily COVID-19 report starting Wednesday in response to a sharp decline in PCR testing since the government eased antivirus measures after daily cases hit record highs. At one Beijing hospital, the fever clinic saw multiple patients who needed medical attention, both through IV drip and oxygen tanks. Hospitals have also reportedly been struggling to remain staffed, while inquiries to health hotlines have increased 6-fold, according to state media. The U.S.-Africa Summit kicked off Tuesday in the nation's capital with a full agenda. Topics ranged from climate adaptation and energy transition to peace, security, and governance. More from Mariama Diallo.
The nearly 50 leaders invited by President Joe Biden arrived earlier this week. The vice president announced the administration would invest an additional $100 million to expand the Young African Leaders Initiative, and the U.S. Export-Import Bank was entering new memorandums of understanding that will clear the way for $1 billion in new commercial financing in Africa. Day 2 of the summit Wednesday on U.S.-Africa business will focus on advancing two-way trade and investment partnership that bolster Africa's role in the global economy and drive advancements in key sectors. Mariama Diallo, VOA News, Washington.
Florida's Republican governor wants the state's high court to open an investigation on coronavirus shots. Here's the AP's Jennifer King.
Taking aim at vaccine makers. At a health roundtable that included prominent opponents of lockdowns, mandates, and child vaccinations on Tuesday, he said it's illegal to misrepresent the efficacy of a drug in Florida. He's petitioning the state Supreme Court to convene a grand jury to look into, quote, any and all wrongdoing, unquote, with respect to the COVID-19 vaccines and potential side effects. The grand jury request argues that pharmaceutical companies had a financial interest in creating a climate in which people believed that getting a coronavirus vaccine would ensure they couldn't spread the virus to others. DeSantis did not offer specifics, but says the panel would aim to jog loose information. DeSantis says we'll be able to get the data whether they want to give it or not. I'm Jennifer King.
From Washington via remote, I'm Diane Roberts, VOA News.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.